again. Come on.
What is withholding and giving information?
Giving and withholding information is used to create a sense of drama and tension within cinema. By only being aware of certain details, we automatically begin to fill in the blanks. This forces us to retain our interest as we want to discover what we do not know. For example, in a crime drama, we may see someone being murdered, but we just not the criminal. Alternatively, by being conscious of the plot and its details, we are left to ponder whether or not the cast members we've become acquainted with will thrive or die, or suffer. I.e., in a horror film, when we see the villain from the first kill, we are left wondering how the storyline will develop and progress in terms of the survivors and diversity of the deaths.
The first name is Simon Skinner.
He's in the loo.
Too much of Joyce's lemonade, perhaps.
And the next name is Tim Messenger.
So what does it mean to combine shots into sequences?
This is the process of connecting scenes from a film into a sequence, which allows the plot to progress naturally and smoothly. As such, the smoother the edit, the more professional the appearance. Similarly, by combining singular shots in this way, the story begins to develop in a logical manner.
So what exactly is a montage then?
Montages can convey a passing of time. They are sections of footage which show a fast progression in terms of an event. The Soviet montage was the first of its kind to be recorded. It was an exaggerated reenactment of the October Uprising. As such, it was a form of propaganda used to brainwash the masses into thinking the government and was politically and morally correct. Now it is mostly used to show characters reach a certain point of their lives, often in the lead up to the climax. So like in Rocky, where we see him train, that is possibly one of the most famous montages of all time. To show the passing of time, clothes, hairstyles, and the general aesthetic of the character must change, unless it is appropriate for it not to, so in a zombie apocalypse movie we wouldn't expect them to change their clothes very often. Fades, wipes, dissolves and cuts can be used to show one movement going into another.
So what's time and space?
Creating time and space in a film is a fundamental aspect of the continuation of the movie. If we were to play out sequences in real time, the film would be impossibly long, and therefore there would be no point in watching it just to see a character live out their everyday lives. Space, on the other hand, can be used to move the script on from a static location, or just generally show where the action's taking place. But we can also infer a lot of detail from the space. If a character is in a wide, open area of land, it suggests that they are free and that they have no problems. Whereas if they were in a small, confined space, we would think that they are trapped and unable to escape the monotony of their everyday lives, or their persecutor or captor do not go.
So I've heard of the 180-degree rule. So what is that?
This ensures that the recording is kept to one side of the action. So, if two people were in a Western-style shoot-off, the camera would film over the left shoulder of person A, for example, and then this would mean that if person B's perspective was required, it would have to be shot from his or her right shoulder. This is so that the audience is not confused as to where each character is positioned, and they can keep up with the story far easier. Within cinema production, there is a theory that villainous cast members will enter and remain on the left, whereas the hero will do the opposite. The 180-degree rule reiterates this.
Do you know what a shot reverse shot is?
Above, the shot reverse shot prevents us from confusing the location of not only the actors, but the entirety of the scene. It will show what a character is looking at, be it a person, animal or object, etc., before we actually see them looking at it from a frontal position. It is effective in how it shows the reactions, facial expressions and body language of those involved in the said section, in association with demonstrating the relevance of the location. Consequently, we have multiple points of view, which means we are able to see how the characters view each other, giving us insights into their mentality.
I want to know what parallel editing is.
Parallel editing allows us to see what is happening in several locations all simultaneously. This shows how different situations link together and contribute to the overall plot. Imagine seeing a group of gangsters organising a daring heist, before we cut to a team of police officers preparing to infiltrate them. It helps to heighten the drama, as we know we know that the illicit activities are going to be uncovered, but they don't. As such, we are put on the edge of our seats, so to speak, desperate to find the outcome and how everyone's going to react to the situation.
How about jump cuts?
Jump cuts are common within cinema as a way of showing the progression and ultimate completion of an activity. So it may start with a character putting his coat on, then cut to him doing it up, and then cutting to him straightening it out and leaving. It can be a clearer method of recording action or motion. When the person has moved in a scene or a lighting change needs to be disguised, the first stretch of footage can be shown before related film replaces the jump. Once this is finished, the original clip can resume. Match cuts, on the other hand, are slightly harder to successfully utilise. It is when the scene cuts/dissolves into the next. The first object then becomes the second. This is done well within 2001: A Space Odyssey.
So is continuity and seamless editing a thing?
Yes, these are perhaps the two most important aspects of film editing. If appropriate items don't remain the same throughout, it's going to confuse those watching. So, in other words, that would be poor continuity. Likewise, if the joining clips are jumpy and rough, it detracts from the acting and plotline, hence reminding us that we are, in fact, watching a film. Not good when we put a movie on in order to escape from reality.
How about audio?
Audio is essential in creating the desired mood and pace. When we hear dramatic, mostly non-diegetic sound, we believe that something terrible is going to happen, perhaps a murder or the discovery of a mysterious weapon. Think Jaws, when you have the music as the shark comes swimming through the water. It builds attention as the pitch can get higher and the general speed faster, just prior to a pivotal event. Generally, the music will reflect the mood, however this is not always the case. Then it's called contrapuntal sound.
Whoa.
And quite often used in music videos and adverts, we can cut our film to the sound. So it's a technique used to make the movement correspond with the sound. It was famously used in Psycho. Janet Leigh's character is stabbed on each loud standalone beat of the track. Likewise, it is relatively easy to identify as prominent movements will be on a certain beat constantly. It helps in altering the pace, as fast music will mean fast actions and most likely will be found in a high octane scene.
Shut off that engine.
So, to generate interest going between scenes, different effects can be used.
Whoa.
A direct cut is less interesting but practical. It conveys the idea that only little time has passed or distance travelled. A fade does the opposite and suggests that a long period has gone by and a great length has been journeyed. A wipe implies that a new scene has started in a new location and can be with different characters. Throughout, varying camera angles will be used to retain interest and alter meaning. For example, a close-up suggests intimacy, whereas a long shot can suggest alienation and a theoretical distance from others.
Whoa.
Shut up! I'm gonna like get rid of that. And you'll be like,
Thanks a lot for the help.
not a problem!